Hey, good morning. Good morning. 11 a.m. And we're fired up on a Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. And August 10th. The time is a flying. We're already 10 days into August. And the summer is slowly moving away. And I am not mad.
Speaking of tacos, I think I'm fired up and appalled that you don't eat Taco Bell.
Taco Bell is just not for me.
It doesn't agree with you.
I've just tried it over and over and over again. I just don't see what's so great about it. I really don't.
Well, last night.
You ask for salt. You can't even get sauces. I mean, you can't get anything. I've literally never get the order that we want. It's always wrong. It's always missing something. There's always a problem.
So tell me why hasn't Uber come up with the idea of doing multiple stops on one order? So just as an example, last night I ordered TCBY and Mrs. Fields cookies, and I was like, I really want Taco Bell as well. Why hasn't Uber given me that option yet to put in a Taco Bell order and a TCBY order and have the same person pick up both?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, they don't let you do two orders at once.
No.
You have to wait till the other order finishes before you do it.
That's not fair. Come on, Uber.
I think that would be a great thing.
We need to start evolving.
We have to evolve. This delivery game is just getting started. I'm telling you.
Before we get into delivery game.
Don't make us get into Fed delivery. Don't make us do it. Okay, well, listen, it's Tuesday. I hope you're having a great start to your day. 11 a.m. East Coast, 8 a.m. over on the West. So you're just kind of waking up, kind of getting your day going. Welcome. To those just joining us on the replay, welcome. What are we fired up about today? I briefly kind of touched on this yesterday, I believe. And it was just one of those things that I think is worth a bigger conversation. And again, it would be much better to have a manufacturer join us. But it's just me right now. It's just me. So I'm going to continue to give my opinions and thoughts on these things. And feel free to jump in the comments if you're watching. Let us know you're here. Say hello. Let me know who's here, who's watching. I see people. I don't know who you are.
I'll throw in the guest link in the comments.
Okay. If someone wants to jump on, we can absolutely talk about this. So what are we talking about? We're talking about installations. We're talking about flat rates. We're talking about startups. We're talking about flat rates. We're talking about all these things. So I want to put in perspective some things. It's 2021. And I put a post up yesterday, and we talked about basically talked a little bit about the skyrocketing labor and payroll rates that we have here in New Jersey and across the country. Josh Zolan is here. He's always watching. Jesus is listening. I appreciate you. We have these skyrocketing labor rates going on across the country for technicians. We have skyrocketing health insurance rates. Gas and tolls are getting higher. If you're in the New Jersey area, the tolls are real, and they're getting heavier as time goes on. I mean, just across the Bayonne Bridge is like $20. Mm-hmm. Going into Staten Island, going into the city is $20. Going across these tunnels and bridges, I mean, it's getting higher and higher. Thank you, Aaron. Aaron's here. So yeah, and when you look at the way the world has evolved and changed in a lot of ways, and you look at how the food equipment industry itself has kind of stayed status quo, it's time to start the conversations out loud and see where we could create some good impact for change, for the positive. I mean, listen, I understand there's got to be a compromise, and I'm not looking to, say that we should, be getting thousands of dollars for all these startups. No, but we should at least be able to cover our technicians' times properly. And there's going to be that saying, well, you get your foot in the door. And, that was true 20 years ago. That was true 30 years ago. That was true 40 years ago. That was true 50 years ago. The brutally honest truth here is we're acquiring these customers at really great rates, building our own relationships to get into doors. I don't think there's that major attractive thing of I'm going to get into a new customer and, you know,
Josh is saying he hates that saying so much. It gets your foot in the door.
Yeah. I mean, my foot's in the door. I'm not like, and I'm not saying that just to be like I'm bragging or I'm a hot shot or something.
Okay, son.
Yes, everything's better with Kason. Come on. That's probably Matt.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but the foot in the door thing was big back in the day. It was also back in the day when there was territories and we had part sales, and there's no more part sales on warranty. We lost all that. We don't get that either. So we're heavily reliant on the labor and travel and mileage for this. And if we're looking to be profitable, listen, we have to be profitable. So going back to the foot in the door thing, which right, Josh, we love, it's just not relevant anymore. And I mean, listen, truth be told, as far as the partnership goes, there's plenty of benefit for the manufacturer service partnership. That's why we are partners. I don't want someone else going in the door behind me. If I'm authorized for all these things, my customer doesn't have to go anywhere else. So that's the one thing. Rich, I have a Blodgett piece of equipment in my kitchen. You guys authorized? Yeah, we're authorized. Okay, good, because I don't want to have to call anybody else. They don't want to have to call anybody. Our customers don't want to have to call anybody else. They're comfortable with us. They know how we operate. We take care of them, and we're there every time they call. And that's how we're building and growing, by being responsive, by being caring, and letting the customer. When I sit across from a customer, I let them know you are not getting a company that is going to just not care and not respond. You have an office full of people that care. You have my cell phone. You have Lori's. You have Geraldine's. You have everybody's phones. We're not going anywhere. There's nothing that we can't work through. If we make a mistake, fine. We own it. We'll fix it. If we got to come back no charge, I come back no charge. If we have to credit you something, I credit you something. I'm here for the long haul. So our customers already, we're building these relationships with the customer. The foot in the door thing is out the window in 2021. We're acquiring our own customers at alarming rates, with marketing and branding and all the stuff that we're doing digitally, and just pounding the pavement and being good to each other.
I just wanted to point out that Josh is very fired up because he's going to kick the damn door down regardless of who opens it.
That's what I'm talking about, brother. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what fires me up, because no one's going to stop us. We're going to come in blazing with all the things that we offer. And so we don't need that. That shouldn't even be a topic of conversation anymore. Parts, not even, we lost the parts. We lost them. It's over. Is it ever going to go back? No. And there's other lots of things that are in the game. Internet has changed the way we do business. All of us, every single one of us. So, I think there has to be an understanding that, I always say service is king, and then people will say, "Oh, well, you're saying that I'm not important." No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying at the end of the day, where the rubber meets the road, I say it all the time. When we're there, we're the last piece of this puzzle. We're doing the install. We're doing the startup. We're there to service them. We're face to face in the trench with them. They see us. They know us. They remember us. They call us. It's all about the service relationship at the end. And when the poo hits the fan, they call the service guy. That's the bottom line. That's why our phones are ringing off the hook all day, every day. The same as Josh's company, the same as Quentin's company, the same as Aaron's company. Our phones don't stop ringing here. They're constantly ringing. There's constantly calls coming in. I'm telling you, there's 500 calls living on this board at any given time. We knock down 100 more come in. That's the service business. It's always been this way. It's a little bit inflated now, I think, because of the way the world is. But it's always been this way. It's always been crazy. So when we look at installations and we look at these startups, okay, now that I've said all this, I think it's important to understand that sometimes people say, "Oh, I'm sending you all this warranty work." Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But I think there's this misperception that we're over here making bank on all these calls. We're not making bank. And Dan Deibler's talked about it many a times, where he takes losses on some of these things. Nobody knows their numbers better than Dan Deibler. And he's showed us spreadsheets and how he looks at partnerships and looks at things. And, so you look at it from that installation perspective, a flat fee. Okay, we're going to give you $700 or $800 flat fee to go install this, whatever piece of equipment it is. I'm not going to, get into each piece of equipment, but let's just say it's a bank of fryers, whatever, $700 flat fee. So I'm going to receive this in my warehouse. Okay, listen, there's labor attached to all this. I pay people to be here to do these things. So now my guys are working. They're taking it off the truck. They're opening the box. They're checking for freight damage. They're taking it down. They're putting it in our warehouse. They're staging it. They're getting it ready. We got to load it down. We got to load it on our delivery truck. Now we got to do a big box truck roll along with a van roll. So there's 2 rolls on that. And then when we get there, what happens when we've called and we've done a million things to tell them what needs to be ready? We get there and maybe the old unit was already supposed to be out, but it wasn't. And even if it wasn't, and we have to take that old unit out, that takes time. Now we got to load that on the truck. I mean, listen, there's 3, 4, 5 hours, 2 guys, 2 truck rolls. How does $700 cover any of that? Guys in this market are making over 6 figures. When you bulk in the insurance, when you bulk in the 401k with employer match, with the paid time off, with all the things that go into it, plus the salary, it's very expensive to run a service company. And the flat fee stuff is killer, because we could be out there and this is what, and I'm saying Dan Deibler because we talked about this stuff, and Dan knows I love his outlook on a lot of these things. It's not only the loss that you're taking on the job, it's the loss that you're taking on the job you could have been on making money, going to a customer that's paying street rate, that's paying parts, that's paying for everything. Full profitability. So, that's why I say, I think, excuse me, the conversations need to happen. Going onto a startup for $150, dude's there for 3 hours, 3.5 hours. I am losing. The company is losing. I think there needs to be, and I hate to say this, but there needs to be time and material. These things need to be time and material to an extent. It's like, listen, you want us to go do a startup, it's time and material. Whatever we got to do. In this case, material, startups, chances are it's just the labor and the travel and the mileage. And we should get all that, especially if you have certified, authorized technicians that have been trained to do this. That comes at a price. And we have to make sure that we're accountable to the company. I have to make sure I'm accountable to these people to make sure that we're profitable, so they have a place to come every day, because I know for a fact that a lot of these people actually enjoy coming to work here. I enjoy coming to work here. Were you going to say something?
I just wanted to share Quentin's.
Share Quentin.
Quentin says every startup should be priced individually. Manufacturer contacts ASA, gets pricing, passes that along to the sales department. Customer either goes with it or not. Total pricing transparency.
Right. Yeah, and because I know that was mentioned yesterday about all these pricings getting passed, like the dealer might be out, or so. It's not that I want anybody to be out. I don't want to be out. Why do I got to be out? The service company takes the hit on the chin. Why do I got to take it on the chin? So that's the conversation. These and listen, we could do site surveys, and we could price these installs out, fine. But even when we do a site survey, it doesn't matter because it's still a flat fee.
Yep.
So I'm doing the site survey to make sure that everything's good, but whether it takes me 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, it's still $800. It's still 2 guys. I'm still losing. Well, your foot's in the door. You got a new customer. No. Because there's so many places, by the way, that we get sent into. And Josh, Quentin, you guys might say this. Some of these places we go to and do installs, they ain't my customer. I don't want them. They're not going to be my customer after that. They just don't fit into our business model, a lot of these places. So I'm never going to hear from them again anyway. What do we got?
We also have Aaron, who says, ever since I watched Dan during the summit, we've stopped just accepting what is fed to us. These are our rates. We have customers willing to pay these rates. If you as a manufacturer aren't willing to pay it, go find a different company.
There you go. And this is, I think this is a lot of the things you're going to start seeing and hearing across the industry. Because like I said, the status quo just doesn't work anymore. What does Josh say?
Josh says that just sounds like good business when your labor is your product.
Yeah. I mean, and listen, that's at the end of the day, that's the biggest thing that we sell here is time, right? That's our labor. That's the biggest thing we sell. And we have to pay attention to the market. We have to pay attention to our key account customers, and do right by them and do right by our employees, our team. So yeah, I'd love to get this conversation and going a little bit more. We're gonna have to get some manufacturers involved, get some other service guys involved, and let's even get some reps and dealers and what's their stance and what's their perspective on this. Because there's just so many misperceptions on what we are actually doing every day. It's mind blowing sometimes, but yeah, I just don't think that it's feasible to believe that we can continue to send our 6-figure technicians to startups for $150, and it's sustainable that way. Especially as more and more stuff gets sold and there's more and more calls, and we're getting back to things here. It's like 1, 2, 3. How many hits? How many losses a day are we going to take? And when you look at it, people are trying to grow. We're all trying to grow. We're all trying to build and grow. We need that positive cash flow. We need to be profitable. I know for us here, we're at that point where we're getting ready to add more techs. I got one starting on Monday. There might be another one in the pike. I'm in talks with a lot of people. This digital branding and marketing thing actually works, Lisa.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
It does, huh?
It's starting to work. Yeah. So
Who'd have thought?
that's why you got to come to FedCon, so you understand the importance of the consistency of building your digital brand. But that's another.
I was going to mention too that we always talk about this being a topic for a panel at FedCon.
Yeah.
Involving the manufacturers in the panel.
100%. We're definitely going to get a panel going on something along these lines where we could just talk about some of these, some of the status quo stuff that's been around for the last 3-4 decades that need to change. And I think the more we talk about it, the better it'll get. So, man.
So we're focused again on FedCon, right?
Yes,
Rich?
absolutely. So that's why, again, yeah. So with the growth and the hiring and talking about digital branding actually and marketing actually working, and when you're looking at trying to be profitable, every call needs to be profitable. You're going to take losses, you're going to take hits. That's the nature of the beast. Fine. But we have to be vigilant and paying attention to the bottom line and paying attention to these calls and be focused on that stuff. And, going back to the growth part, I need positive cash flow. We're about to explode over here. I'm talking tri-state area. We're looking at a lot of different things right now. For me to go on these calls that aren't profitable, it's like, man. And I think I hear Dan Dybel like, well, I'm going to listen. It'll go on my board, but I'll get to it when I get to it. That's the kind of, and I don't ever want to. I don't really have that same exact approach, because I don't like to leave people hanging. I don't like to leave people in the wings. I like people to be in the know. Like, here, we're going to try to do our best to schedule this, and here's the best available time slot. Especially right now we're inundated with calls. I mean, it's mind blowing. We're really not even taking new customers unless they're willing to wait a month at this point. But we have to be paying attention to our key accounts, to the people that put their faith, trust, and are loyal to us 365. And I think that's what the partnerships need to start to look like. They need to start to look like these partnerships actually matter. And unfortunately, you get what you pay for in this world. That's the truth. You see it in everything. I've done it. I've shot myself in the foot and cut corners, and I've paid for it here.
Yeah.
Shame on me. I should know better. I know that. But I cut corners on some things and I paid for it. Now I got to go back and redo things. And that happens all the time in the field. We see that too. You can have any Tom, Dick, Harry go out there and do your startup. But at the end of the day, what do they really know? Because Tom, Dick, or Harry works for a plumber. And he's like, oh, yeah, we could do that for you. And then next thing we know, we come in and we see all these crazy connections and these weird things. And it's like, who started this up? Who said this was okay? Like, you're lucky this thing didn't blow up. So hey, Mike, what's Mike saying?
Having authorized trained techs in the field to perform the installs properly the first time only adds to the success we have in the field with customer experience.
Yeah, Mike, you're on point, and that's what it is. Creating a solid customer experience, right? So when we get to site, and we've done site surveys, and we're ready to do the install and the startups, and all these things go off without a hitch. You want to leave a really good taste in the customer's mouth. And that's why I say, at the end of all of the whole process, the last person that they're going to see is me. Not me personally, but Malachi. They're going to see the team. They're going to see the Malachi Cares team. That's the last line that everyone sees. When we leave, our sticker is going to go on that unit.
I was just about to say, with all the branding that Malachi does, they're definitely going to see you.
Well, yeah. Yeah. And I'm out here talking about the Malachi Cares mantra. It's real. And like I said, when we lose sight, that sticker's going on the piece of equipment, and they're going to remember Malachi. So many times, the majority of these people go, well, you make the oven. Well, you make the fryer. Well, you make the steamer. And we have to remind them, like, we're not the manufacturer, but we are the manufacturer's representative out here for this equipment. And we stand by it, and we have OEM parts, and we have training, and we're here to get you going and keep you going. So they're going to remember us, and they're going to call us, and they're going to be mad at us when things don't go right. Listen, we did a site survey. We told you what you needed to do. Oh, well, nobody told me I was going to have to upgrade my electric and plumbing, and there's another $8,000 involved. I've got nothing to see. I've got nothing to do with that. That should have happened already. That should have been told to you already. But then again, now here I am in the trench, taking blows to the chin, because we're the last people they see. We're the ones that they're dealing with when it comes time to get this thing going. So. And Mike is on point. Train techs in the field to perform the installs properly the first time adds to the success we all have, because we want them to buy another unit. If we're out there selling combo therms and we're out there selling all these different things, whatever, because we're well built, factory authorized, I want them so badly to be like, hey, we love this Cleveland steamer. We're going to buy another one. Great. That means I get to service and maintenance it. Very happy for that. That's what we're doing out here. We're making sure these relationships stay strong. The value of customer experience. It's real, ladies and gentlemen. In 2021, the experience a customer gets is really important, more than ever. So, we're trying to bring so many different things to the table. We're bringing technology to the table, pictures and videos through a hyperlink, XOI. Shout out to XOI team. It's a game changer for us. Every customer sees every single thing that happens on every single invoice. And, we don't charge extra for that. That's just part of the amount. You just get that. And so for us to continue to train our technicians and to build and to grow and to do the right thing, there just needs to be new conversations in 2021, in this decade, where things begin to change. There's already a monster shift in the field, in the field of service with technicians. They are like gold. We were just looking yesterday, Lisa. Remember, we were talking about welding, because welding is such a, it's an amazing craft and skilled trade, piece of the skilled trade to have. There's, by the year 2026, I think it said, there'll be 450,000 job openings in the welding field.
Wow.
500,000 people. 500,000 jobs are going to be open because no one's coming into these fields. How important, that's just welding.
Yeah.
How important do you think food equipment service technicians are going to be by the year 2026? There's going to be more than 500,000 jobs. So how important is the relationship you have with your service company going to be? Talking with a gentleman in town that I talked to him. He said, oh yeah, well, I always used this guy for a long time. But you guys do refrigeration and stuff? And I was like, oh yeah. I met somebody in Cafe Bello.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, we do. He said, all right, because I've been using this guy for 25 years. He's always helped us out. He's in town, but he's 64. And he told me he's got 1 year left. He said, so then he's going off into retirement.
Yeah.
He said, you guys do refrigeration? I said, yeah. He said, all right, I'm probably going to start throwing some things your way, because a lot of these guys that are in their 60s are going out. They're going to retire. They're going to live the rest of their life and enjoy. But there's no 25s or 35s or 15-year-olds right now thinking, hey, I want to go fix a fryer, because they don't even know it's there.
Oh man, you made me think of something actually, and I know we're getting really off topic with this stuff.
Listen, we're
but-
fired up about everything.
But think about let's go back to 2020, right? Where
Yeah.
everyone was home, all these kids couldn't go to school, so there wasn't any physical outreach, right? Where you were going to the high school to talk to kids, right?
Mhm.
And that's how they learned about the food equipment industry. Unfortunately, because this industry is lacking with digital branding and just talking about it more on social media and on the internet, I'm wondering now what the effects of that are going to be with these kids who were, let's say, 17, 18, looking for opportunities. Where did they go? You know, like, did they land on a skilled trade? Maybe not. They're probably obsessed with trying to be a TikTok star or influencer.
Probably.
So I feel like, I'm personally upset that, food equipment industry and skilled trades in general probably fell short in that aspect
Yeah.
to reach those kids.
Yeah, it's all with kids being home, right? I mean, there is no other outlet. There was no other way. I mean, they're like you said, they're online. They're looking at TikTok. They're looking at Twitch. They want to be professional gamers.
Yeah,
And listen, these are all real professions.
they are.
You could literally make $80,000 a year at home playing video games.
Yes.
Legit.
You can.
Oh, you could make more. I'm just saying, like probably on the lower end. I mean, you would have to really invest the time and a lot of work to be that $300,000-$400,000 a year guy. But you could legit start out and make 50, 60, 70, 80,000 from your living room. Like, these are legit things. But I don't know, it's like anything. Beyonce's and Jay-Z's. Like, these are one in billions. And people are looking like these are one in a billion.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone's going to be that big star. Same thing with these TikTokers and all these things. A lot of these are just flash in the pans, and you got to pay attention to bringing real value to people when you're doing these things. You got to bring real value. Like with our digital branding and marketing, my hope is that I'm bringing real value to people every day for you to keep coming back and building a business through that, what the Fed Group and what the membership's going to be and FedCon. Like, I'm trying to bring true real value so people are like, hey, I'm going to go support Rich. I'm going to go support Lisa and the Fed Group and their movement and everything that they're trying to do.
You're ultimately supporting the skilled trades.
And it's definitely a voice. It's not just we're not just going to hang our hats on the food equipment genre or demographics. It's HVAC, it's refrigeration, it's warewashing. It's welding. I mean, it's everything. So, man, I mean, it's what was Quentin got?
No, but it just says we all have to pick up the phone and call these high schools and trade schools and start selling the trade.
Yeah. Well, listen, I before the pandemic, I was set to go talk at a couple of campuses for a technical college here. Spoke at Bayonne High School. I was set to do that again. That fell off. Now that school's going to go back in session this year, I'd love to probably go talk to these kids.
Yeah.
And it's not even just listen. It's not. Don't even look at it from the perspective of I'm wasting my time because I'm not going to hire them. Don't look at it like that. Do your part. Maybe something positive will come of it. You just don't know. It's all positive in the end because you're going to tell these kids something else that no one else told them about. No one else told them about it. And planting a seed. And you might spark one kid's interest. That's all it takes. And then I do it and I spark a kid's interest. And then she does it and she sparks a kid's interest. And that's how this thing is going to work. But when you, again, going back to these flat fees and these flat rates and these low rates and this is the best we could do. These conversations are going to get things, people's blood boiling, I think, over the next few years because there is a shortage of technicians. I'm doing my best to bring new guys in. We trained a few guys. I got another young guy training. Truth be told, I got another one or two guys on the pike that I'm probably going to be training soon, hopefully. Constantly looking to add good people to the team, but they're writing their own tickets right now, and they know it. They know their value, and rightfully so. Because I say all the time, they're the lifeblood of the service company, of the service industry, are the technicians, and yes, operations and all that stuff. But we've talked about this down at Sefesa conferences. I remember Gary Potvin was talking about technicians back in the day when he was the president and everything, and he was talking about, listen, the only assets in our company are the technicians. He as the president of the company, I'm an expense. That's what he would say. I'm an expense. The assets are the technicians. And we have to keep them going. We have to keep them happy. We have to keep them supported in the field and let them know that someone's got their back. And I feel that if I allow these flat fees to continue, I don't have their back. I feel like I don't have their back. They're working hard, 3-4 hours on these startups for these fryers or the ovens or whatever it is. Oh, we'll give you $150. Meanwhile, I got to pay the guy $250 when he's all said and done.
Yeah.
But Rich, your foot's in the door. It's in the door of the place that I don't want to be in. And I'm sorry. We have and Josh Olin and these guys all across the country. We have our demographic of customers that fit in our business model. Not every customer is our customer. And I'm just not trying to say that to be rude or negative or anything. Like you do you, but not every customer that I go to is a customer that I'm ever going to be in again, because I don't want to. They're not my customer. I'm focused on a whole other thing. I'm focused on national chains. We're focused on national restaurants. We're focused on C-stores and hospitals. You know, when I go into certain places I'll get sent to, and I'm like, we're going to go in here and get our foot in the door. I don't want my foot in the door. I got to go do this, and I got to go take a loss on it. So it's like, man, I don't put that. Let's do that next week. Let's go make some money this week. You know, and these are real conversations, and these are things that probably could get me in trouble for saying, because I'm going to be controversial or something. I don't know. But, you know, again, I'm not trying to anger anyone. I'm just trying to create some impact and change and start the conversations. Absolutely. Yep.
We vet our customers just like our customers should vet us.
Yeah, man. That's it, Aaron. You know, like there's a lot of work out here. There's a lot of work in every market, I'm sure. And no one company can handle it all. It's not possible. So what my customer base might be, you might not be interested in. And we're just, you know, some people are focused on certain things. And that's cool. So that's why we need to start this conversation. We need to get fired up about it collectively. Head on over to Fed Nation, the Fed Group, Food Equipment Digital Disruptors on Facebook. Join the conversation. Join the movement. FedCon is going down. It's a conference for digital branding and marketing for the industry. And we are going to be connecting in person April 25th to the 27th at the Omni Monte Lucia in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'll be there. Josh Olin will be there. Tess Sutherland will be there. Lisa's going to be there. And, you'll be there. And the DeLorean's going to be there. And we're fed to the future is the theme. It's a little bit of Back to the Future play. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be informative. There's going to be a massive value in the networking and education you learn. And Josh Olin just said something.
Yes, he did. But before we wrap up.
Yes.
Don't forget to touch on that.
I will.
Okay. And Josh says, the older we get, the more we value the truth and the less we value what other people think or who we piss off.
Man, ain't that true? Because years ago, I would be so worried about, you know, opening my mouth and saying anything. But you know what? It takes time and to talk on this just real briefly. Definitely fired up about how far we've all come. And I look at this from my perspective, being in my father's shadow for so long. You know, I didn't know when I should say anything, or if I should say anything, or if am I going to sound like an idiot, or am I smart enough to jump in these conversations? Do I know? And it's like, yeah, you do know, but I'm gonna be quiet about it anyway. You know, and now it is to the point where it's like, you know what? I've been doing this long enough. I didn't open my mouth until I was like 36 years old, 35 years old, a few years back, because I didn't want to start talking about stuff until I felt confident enough to say, yeah, you know what? I know I know. So to end this live, I want to talk about NAFEM. Jason Wange had on some NAFEM board members last night, Rob Connolly. And great live, great insight. So we had mentioned we were going to probably try and do something, maybe for a Food Equipment Manufacturers Expo, virtually kind of thing. I think we're going to table that because we heard last night that NAFEM is going to be doing something.
Yep.
So we're going to definitely look to support that. That's what we want to do.
Exactly.
So we want to support that. And I think, and I don't know, FER Mag, I think we were kind of looking up some things. I think they have some stuff going on.
They've done virtual manufacturer
Yeah.
expos.
So yeah, we're gonna look to just jump in and support the other pieces of the industry, NAFM being that one. If they're gonna do that digital virtual thing, we're gonna see how we can either participate, promote it, just whatever it might be.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who believed in us so much that they wanted to support
Yeah.
anything that we put our minds to.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Aaron and Quentin, like seriously, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. And listen, maybe as we unveil the fedgroup.com, which is going to be, I got to talk about that today, what we're going to do with that when we're launching that for tickets and just the site, just the website in general.
Two more pieces of the puzzle that I need from you, Rich.
Okay.
So that website can go live.
Okay, because I know Will was texting me this morning. I haven't been able to get back to him. I've been rushing around. But yeah, once the fedgroup.com goes up, maybe we have a place within the membership, right?
Yep.
For manufacturers to have a place to showcase and exhibit all their new stuff on a consistent basis.
Yeah, all the time, not just.
Yeah, on a consistent basis. So we'll look to work with NAFM on that, and Cefesa and some different whoever. It might doesn't have to end. It doesn't have to end with manufacturers. It could be service companies. We could have an exhibitor, just a consistent place for service companies to go and be able to promote themselves and brand themselves and.
Yeah.
With the Fed membership, that's going to be. So there's a lot of things that we're going to be working on over the next 40 years. So stay with us as we bring them to you one by one. And my man Vin and LI, what do you got going on?
The installations have to be compensated at a fair price. There is a tremendous cost and liability in doing these types of projects. We are the ASAs for a reason. We do what's needed to get things done.
A to the men. And by the way, talking about that, we do what's needed to get things done. There's so many things that we do that are just unaccounted for. So many materials that don't get billed back. So many, there's hours. There's different things that we do. There's time. We invest time. The technicians, the service staff here, you don't realize all the labor costs behind the scenes. Service management, parts management, customer service management, warranty billing admin, operations, warehouse. There's a lot of other things that go on behind the scenes to get things done. All these things go in to that labor rate that we give you.
Yep.
This is not a labor rate where we're trying to hurt people. It's a labor rate that means we have to stay in business and viable so we can continue to be your ASA, so we can continue to be your partner, so we can continue to take care of the customer. Not just our customer, your customer. Your customer. We represent the hell out of our manufacturers here. I talk them up. I promote them for free. I do it all the time. Proud, well-built, factory authorized. Proud Middleby companies. Turbo Chef, Jade, South Bend, whatever, Star, Lang, Wells, Holman, Bloomfield, Pitco, Blodgett, Magic Kitchen, Unified Brands, Groen, Randell, APWs, Baker's Pride. I mean, the list can go on and on. Rationale. Proud. There just needs to be a better understanding of what's really going on here, and there needs to be the realization of these sky high costs, and the status quo of what we did in the 90s no longer works.
All right, cool down now.
Oh, the cool down. Get ready for the cool down with Malachi and Z. I said it.
You said it right.
So stay tuned for a primetime show coming Thursdays this fall.
Thursdays this fall? Yeah, sure. Actually, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Thursdays this fall at 9 p.m. You're going to cool down your week with Lisa and Malachi Z.
Yeah, sure.
But listen, on another note, Halloween season is about to be coming. I'm a big Halloween guy. I don't know if you are. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. Let us know in the comments if you made it this far, if you're watching on the replay, where's some great haunts around you, or if you know any haunts in New Jersey that we should check out, let us know. Especially a place where we could spend the night. That'd be a great team building exercise for Team Malachi. Spending the night in a haunted mansion or a haunted correctional facility.
I guess we could just go to the Eastern State Penitentiary.
We could
I can't say that.
we could go to Eastern State. That's in Philly, right?
Yeah.
I've been down there for the regular haunted house, but I never did anything else.
Don't they do overnights?
I think they do. So we'll look into that. But yeah, let us know any of these haunting area. Paranormal stuff's just always intrigued me. And what's your favorite Halloween movie? What's your favorite?
My favorite?
Yeah.
I watch too much horror in general to have a favorite Halloween movie.
Yeah. Well, is there maybe one, two, or three things you like that you love that you watch? Like Christmas time, you always watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I always watch Christmas Vacation.
Always watch that. Halloween time, I always watch Halloween, the original with Jamie Lee Curtis, 1978, right? Michael Myers, the legend.
Oh,
By the way, there's a new Halloween coming out
oh yeah, you told me about this.
this October, I think.
Aaron says trick or treat. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
And Vince says Amityville, Long Island. I told you my story.
Yeah.
About
Amityville. Oh,
and
boy.
Aaron also says, come to Columbus. We'll do some haunted houses, or we can come there.
Yeah. So we and to end I know we're coming to the end. We're with the live here, but to talk about doing some fun fed things, right?
Yeah.
With food equipment to make it even a little more interesting. Doing stuff like that. This is just one example. Maybe doing something with a fed event where we at Halloween season maybe get something going every year, and maybe we could do something along the lines where we could really, really make it worthwhile and do like a fundraising event around it where we could help No Kid Hungry or something where we could like get sponsors to do things and we can.
Tiaras, wasn't that something?
Yes. So we could maybe do something along the lines where we could actually make it where we're helping other people and we can get together at the same time. Something that we'll have to put that on our list. So we got a lot of things on the list here, guys. We got a lot of things on the list. We're just friggin' fired up about everything. We don't know which way to turn.
No, I think we're just kind of all over.
I've never been more excited. And I wanted to tell you something else before we go.
Me?
I turned 40 at the end of the year.
Yes.
I was going to put on a birthday bash for myself
Okay.
and do like digitally stuff, like go live and everything with it.
Okay.
So we can do giveaways and do different, like I'll throw a big party for myself. I don't know if I couple it together with the holiday party and make a really big, massive thing.
That's not a bad idea. I
I don't know. I thought it'd be nice. And then give people gifts on my birthday. Give on my birthday kind of thing.
I'm actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think I had a lot of Filipino friends growing up, and that was a part of their custom for a birthday. Is instead of them getting gifts, they give gifts.
Okay. So there you go.
So we might have to do that.
I'm thinking about doing something like that, getting Fed Nation and inviting the Fed Nation down here to Jersey, New York area. I don't know how many people could make it. Nevertheless, a lot of things. We'll put that on the board too. My 40th bash. What are we going to do? I want to do some giveaways. I want to give back to the people that have been so supportive over the last several years, this decade, working my way to 40.
I like it.
So maybe we'll think about something along those lines too. All right. It's been a long live. We've touched on a lot of things. We've gone way off course. Happy Halloween. It's Taco Tuesday. Stay fired up. We'll keep things moving here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about that. Stay well. Be kind to each other. See you tomorrow.